Good afternoon, good morning. This is Mark Johnson from Loyalty360. I hope everyone's happy, safe, and well. I want to welcome you back to another edition of our Leaders in Customer Loyalty series. In this series, we talk to leading brands about what they are seeing and hearing on the front lines of customer channel and brand loyalty. Today, we have the pleasure of speaking with representatives from BuildABear Workshop, including Ed Poppe. He is the Vice President of CRM, Loyalty, and Performance Marketing, as well as Jennifer Kretchmar. She's the Chief of Merchandise and Digital. Thank you very much, both of you, for taking the time to talk to us today.
Good morning. Thank you.
Absolutely. One of the things we like to do when we start off is we like to get to know the people we're talking to on a more personal level. So would love to know a little bit more about yourself, maybe your history and a fun fact. Are you a rabid Browns fan? Do you like the St. Louis Cardinals? Do you like to go parasailing? We like to have a little personal connection to start these off. So Jennifer, let's go ahead and start with you.
Great, sure. Well, I'm the Chief Digital and Merchandising Officer, as you mentioned, at BuildABear, and I've been with the company for 7 years. Absolutely love this brand and our mission of adding a little more heart to life. I have a background in product development, footwear, 20 years, really working with families and children in brands that parents trust, that kids love. And let's see, a good fun fact for you. I am a Browns fan, but probably another good fun fact is love the water and really love windsurfing and enjoying time at the beach and thinking about fun family destinations.
That's awesome. And Ed, what about you? What's a little about your history and fun fact? What do you have?
Yeah, I'll weave it all together. So the history is I grew up in Miami, Florida. The fun fact was, as a kid, we used to go to Hurricanes baseball games. So you have that moment where you think you're really cool when you're 12 and you're at a baseball game. And that's evolved to me being in St. Louis now, and we're going to Cardinals games. And so it's a blast. I have a 9-year-old son, and he's really into it. My background was travel and hospitality, and then I got into mattresses and have found my way to BuildABear, which I'm thrilled about. And I'm coming up on 2 years, so it's a lot of fun and great to see what we can do. I'm a part of Jen's team, so super happy to be at BuildABear.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much for that. For those who may not know about BuildABear, could you give us a short history of the brand and where you guys started, what you guys do, and then how you do it? It's always great to know a little bit more about the brand we speak with as well.
Sure. Well, BuildABear was founded by Maxine Clark in 1997. So we are coming up on 25 years of making special moments with our guests. Our first store opened in a mall in St. Louis back in 1997. And today we have nearly 500 workshops around the world. We went public in 1994 on the New York Stock Exchange. And we're really known as the sort of premier of what is now referred to as retailtainment, experiential retail. That was really how BuildABear, got on the map, and it is really our founding DNA of the brand. I think what's interesting today, though, and what's fascinating to people is how the brand has evolved. BuildABear is now in people's lives in so many different ways. We have evolved beyond the malls where parents and families went for entertainment back in the late 90s. And now we're in amusement park areas. We're in large hotels like Gaylord Hotels, Marriott's. You can find us when you're on a cruise with Carnival again in the future. We are where families go for fun and enjoying and making moments together. The brand has also entered people's lives in really unexpected but very cool ways. Our entertainment area, BuildABear Entertainment, is launching movies. In fact, we have a movie that'll be launching next week that stars Ashanti in conjunction with Sony Pictures. We have a radio station on iHeartRadio, and we have toy lines in Walmart and several mass retailers. So the brand is really where our guests want us, and across a lot of different channels and touching lives in a lot of different ways.
Okay, great. The Build-A-Bear Bonus Club is your customer loyalty rewards program. Can you tell us a little bit about the program, when it started, the goals for the program, and how you see the program working going forward?
Yeah, I'd love to. So if you rewind back to 97, Jen mentioned that's when the company was started. That's when the loyalty program was started. And it was started like a lot of programs we hear about. It was a punch card. Today, our loyalty database has grown to tens of millions, and 30% remain active. And since those days, we've shifted from just counting transactions to really focusing on lifetime value. And I think to understand this, it helps to kind of rewind and think about where our brand sits. And so our brand has big emotional goals. Our mission is to add more heart to life. We are a personal experience company, and we want to create lasting emotional positive memories. And so when you think about a loyalty program and how does it fit into that, we really wanted our program to be positioned around this idea of friendship. So if you think about an individual who comes into a store and they buy a bear, we actually used to say Build-A-Bear is where best friends are made. There's immediately this deep connection with our brand. And what our bonus club can do is our bonus club can say, if you'd like to have a deeper friendship with Build-A-Bear and have an opportunity to have more engagements, more rewards, more access, the bonus club's a perfect place for you. So that helps us then structure kind of what our program's built around. And we're built around 4 value propositions: earn points and rewards, birthday surprises. Build-A-Bear loves birthdays. There's so much more we could go into about how our guests celebrate, but it fits very, very well with our program. Exclusive offers and access. It's so fun to be on Jen's team because her team's thinking about merchandising and new product launches. And if you were to go to our website, it's amazing the different affinity collections and IP that we have. Our guests love that. I think we can talk a bit more later about how we think about products and loyalty. But that's our club community too, is how do we engage them? How do we think about what they care about? And so our goal is to continue to innovate the program as a friendship and to continue to build a program for our friends.
Okay, great. I think we talked about this. You guys brought it up a few minutes ago. The iHeart platform, you BuildABear Radio, BuildABear Radio. It's a top family-focused radio station on the iHeart platform that you use to engage your customers and their families. Can you tell us about how this came about and how it has worked to help make families more engaged, more loyal with Build-A-Bear?
Sure. Well, first of all, music is a cornerstone of the Build-A-Bear brand. It might be interesting to know that, one of our most popular accessory items in the workshop when a guest comes in to make that furry friend is a sound chip, whether they record a special message on it or download a little piece of a song or a phrase or a saying. Our guests love putting sound chips into their furry friends. We also have a lot of music that we've created over the years at Build-A-Bear that we play with in our workshop, whether it's a special birthday song that we sing with a very unique Build-A-Bear tune to it, or other celebration music. So it seemed natural that a radio station would be a great way to engage our guests outside of the workshop and give them an opportunity to listen to the brand and hear the things that the brand has to say, that are really about creating special moments and adding, like we always say, adding a little more heart to life. So we partnered with iHeartRadio. It is a top 5 family station on the platform. It has hundreds of thousands of unique listeners every month, and we do some really cool segments on the show. One of my favorites is Build-A-Biz, where we interview kid entrepreneurs or kidpreneurs. On the show, we hear about how they're starting businesses, how they're working in their communities to create value. The show also has a lot of family, friendly, fun content with influencers that we bring on or celebrities that we interview. We do a countdown every week of music and songs. It's a great platform to engage with our guests and keep, Build-A-Bear not just top of mind, but involved in people's lives throughout the day when they turn the station on. So really fun part of what we do.
Okay, great. When you look at customer loyalty, one of the things we love to do is when we talk to leading brands like Build-A-Bear, you get an understanding of how they define certain phrases, certain ideas around customer loyalty. We actually have a membership community, about 130 brands that meet once a week and talk about different topics. And obviously customer loyalty is very important. So, how do you define customer loyalty, and what does it mean to Build-A-Bear?
I think Jen just talked about BuildABear Radio, and there's a lot of different ways for guests to engage with the Build-A-Bear brand. Our company has a saying, which is once a bear, always a bear. And I think the way to interpret that is whatever way you want to engage with Build-A-Bear, you can be a part of our community. And so then you can weave that out and you can think, oh, well, for Build-A-Bear, loyalty is woven into how we think as a company, how we build products, how we treat our guests. So for 25 years, Build-A-Bear is coming up on our anniversary. And we now have this multi-generational population. So we have guests who came in as kids, they had a blast, and now they have their own kids and they're bringing them back to Build-A-Bear. That form of loyalty is really, really unique where you can carry that passion. But we can also go into, we have other guest segments. We have teens, we have adults. Build-A-Bear has become a place that you can gift. When we think about our teams, we don't have a customer service team, we have a guest experience team. It's how we develop products. Jen's team's always thinking about what IP to come out next with. What are guests asking about? Our licensed product is vast in its breadth. There's Pokemon, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and Animal Crossing, to name a few. Animal Crossing was prime, just given how much time all of us have spent at home. We're also working to make purchase easier. So from a digital perspective, we've launched buy online, pick up from store, buy online, ship from store, and also same-day delivery from our partner from Shipt. So it's not just the Build-A-Bear where you can go into a store and have that experience. It's also a Build-A-Bear where you can go online. You can either sit with your kid or have a lot of fun on your own, picking what's perfect, and then have it shipped and delivered. And so from a loyalty perspective, I think that's taking the friction out of the purchase. Build-A-Bear continues to invest in technology. We have this kind of goal of seamless and easy interactions. And it's great. Our CEO says, how do we put the fun in fundamentals? And so as you think about an experience brand and technology, there's a lot of opportunity there. For us, we've chosen to invest in Salesforce. So we're working on standing up Service Cloud to help us have a 360 view. And for us, loyalty is also multifaceted. And so we're looking to implement Salesforce's loyalty app. But for us, it's not one thing. It's not a points or an experience program. It's a combination of experiences. It's not one thing, it's a million different things. And that's what makes loyalty so exciting about Build-A-Bear, is it literally is interwoven with every part of the company.
Absolutely. When you look at customer loyalty, personalization is a big piece of that. You talked about technology. Getting technology to work is a huge challenge that we see from a brand perspective. But personalization is obviously front and center. You've talked about a number of things that you guys are doing in that regard. What are the challenges and the opportunities you see around personalization, and how is Build-A-Bear working to improve your personalization efforts?
Yeah, this is a topic of conversation every single day for us. Ed and I are so passionate about making sure that we can connect with our guests. He talked about the friendships, the experiences that we have. When our guest comes to Build-A-Bear, they're choosing to spend time with us so often to celebrate a really special moment or to engage with us in a way that is just truly an emotional connection. And we take all of those moments so seriously as a brand. So personalization means a lot to us. Our brand actually is a manifestation of personalization, coming into the workshop and choosing a bear and then deciding what scent to put in it, what sound, what clothing, what accessories, what to name it at the naming station. It's something that we take so seriously, and our guests come to us, Ed mentioned, for a variety of different moments. It could be celebrating a birthday. It could be a couple on a date, having a date night together. It could be an expectant couple that is there for, creating their child's first bear and putting a message in it from them. imagine all of those moments, and then what we're doing on the loyalty side to then communicate back to them messages that are personalized and tailored to the type of experience that they're having with Build-A-Bear. That is a huge task for us. And it's one that we don't take lightly. So Ed and I are spending, and the team, the broader team, are spending a lot of time understanding our audiences, understanding how they want to engage with us, and then building out journeys that speak to them in a way that makes sense for the type of moment they had with Build-A-Bear. And that could be an in-store moment or an online moment. We have a digital bear builder configurator on our website where you can customize and send a bear to someone you love or collect it yourself for your own collection. It's important that when we're communicating with that guest that we understand, were they in a store for a workshop experience? Were they on our website for a digital experience? All of those audiences are critically important to understand so that we can personalize that message and communicate with them in a way that they expect from a brand that they've had such an emotional or I would say very personal experience with. So yeah, we spend a ton of time on this topic. It's really important and it's hard. It is really hard work getting all these tools to connect together and be able to tease out all of those audience and then build all of that creative to then engage with the guest in a way that's appropriate.
Okay. When you look at partnerships, partnerships are a growing area of interest. We actually have a partnership network at Loyalty360 where we help brands facilitate partnerships. We help them do some research. We help them kind of align that, whether it's a Lego or Food Line or others. It's kind of a growing area of interest, as you probably know. How do you at Build-A-Bear look at partnerships traditionally? From a brand perspective, maybe a NASCAR or a Denver Broncos or a football, a baseball team. How do you look at partnerships and how do you see that going forward?
Yeah, great question. So at Build-A-Bear, we have a huge slate of partnerships right now, particularly within our licensing area. So the NFL teams to Pokemon. We work with a large variety of partners across both entertainment, sports, as well as content like gaming and character licenses. So there's quite a breadth within our current portfolio. We treasure those partnerships. In fact, we refer to them as collaborations, where we come together and we take what's great about that franchise, brand, or license, and then what's amazing about Build-A-Bear. And when you mash the two things up, we really get, 1 + 1 = 3, not 2. It is really exciting for our guests, and our guests just love collecting all of these different partnerships that we create. We also have partnerships within real estate and within marketing. So we may work, with a partner on the real estate side, like, opening up a store on Knott's Berry Farm, or opening up a store, as I mentioned, in the Gaylord hotels. Those partnerships are amazing because we're reaching out to each other's consumer bases and sharing what's great about our two brands coming together and what overlaps and creates great synergy and excitement for the guest when they see two brands come together. On the loyalty side, we're excited to explore new partnerships in the future. We've done some really great ones, and we'll continue to do so. We've partnered with like a Shutterfly to offer our guests an exciting opportunity around photos, because we found a lot of families are taking tons of pictures when they're in our stores, capturing the heart ceremony when the guest is putting the heart on their nose and making a wish. So we've found that partnerships like that can really, excite our guests post-purchase as well. So we love partnerships, we love collaborating, and it's something that we'll continue to explore and do in the future. We think it's really valuable for brands as well as for our guests experiencing the brands.
Absolutely. When you look at the customers, your customers, there's a realization that they are changing, different expectations, how they engage with the brand, right channel, right time. How do you think your customers are changing? And is that a retail perspective, or is that kind of a general perspective with regard to Build-A-Bear?
Well, guests are changing rapidly, and the past 18 months has never been more of a proof point of that. It has just been, in so many ways, the most dynamic time that our brand has ever experienced. So just to give you kind of an example, the vast majority of our business took place within the four walls of our retail. But in the last 18 months, we have seen a massive shift, balancing out that retail and that digital experience. Our guests are so excited to experience the brand in a variety of different ways. They may want to go online, and we just launched this really cool new feature on our website called the Bear Builder 3D, where you can go to the website and engage in this three-dimensional bear building experience. The bear slides down a rainbow slide. The heart ceremony is full of confetti. So our guests can have this really cool experience online that didn't exist a year ago. We've accelerated every part of our business as it relates to the digital piece, because we're finding our guests wants to experience us in different ways. They want to come in the workshop for a live person-to-person experience with a bear builder. And they also want to come online and personalize the perfect gift that they then send to someone meaningful in their life. So this duality of a business, which I think many people just a few short years ago thought was only a mall business, is now this omni-channel business, and the guest expects us to be there where they want to shop and how they want to communicate. And so our goal is to come in every day and figure out how to meet them where they want to be, with the type of content that they're looking for and the product that excites them. And that's what we're focused on day in and day out with the brand. It's been amazing to watch this evolution of the consumer. And we just had a record first half of the year. So obviously, this transition is something that, we're excited about and that we're really focused on.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very interesting for sure. A very unique approach, and it is, refreshing to see how you're kind of approaching it in a number of different ways. So that's great. When you look at the customer loyalty, customer experience efforts you have, what KPIs are you looking at for efficacy, for success? Are there a series of KPIs that you and your team look at?
I think that's a really hard question. It's not one golden KPI. It's really easy for us to say our goal is lifetime value, and 100% that is our KPI. But when you pick one golden KPI, it can get very transactional. And we want to try to include advocacy and then also take into account momentum. So over time, we track a variety of KPIs. For us, the most critical are what's the engagement by channel. So it's always a question of composition, because not all channels are the same. You want to look at new to file, average transactions per guest, repeat by segment. And of course, satisfaction is critical. So we definitely look at a variety. And I think our belief is that by moving multiple KPIs, you'll build lifetime value. And by building great experiences, you'll build advocacy. And so it all starts working together.
Absolutely. When you look at what's next for your customer loyalty, customer experience efforts, what's the next big thing for BuildABear and those efforts?
Yeah, we talk a lot about that. And for us, it's really unlocking the power of our loyalty program with our guests, the friendships that we're creating. And when I say unlock the power, we've been building out a foundation of tools that we can use to better personalize, as you asked about earlier, to make sure that our messaging is on point with our guests and really reflects what they are interested in about our brand. We think that there is just a ton of headroom, if you will, out there in loyalty with BuildABear, where we can start to engage across email, social. We see them visiting our stores. I mean, I imagine, a future where when they come in, we can talk to them about the furry friends that they've purchased in the past. We can engage with them in a way that truly lets them know how much we care about the relationship. And so as we continue to evolve the tools that we're implementing now and the loyalty platform that we're building, really the next big thing, I think, is a series of little things that we connect the dots on that allows our guests to know how much we care about them because we're interested in the type of relationship that they want to have with us. We truly do. Ed said this, and it's something we talk about every day. We truly do consider our guests our friends. Our bear builders are not employees, they are bear builders. Our guest services group is not a guest services group, it's our guest experience group. And at work, we are bears that come together, to engage and add heart in everything that we do throughout all the channels that we're in. So while there's not one big, giant next thing, there's a lot of things that we want to bring together to create a relationship where, the person at the other end is really caring about you and is interested in what you like and what you do and the type of relationship that you're having. Those are the kinds of friendships that we've talked about valuing and the type of friendships we want with our guests. So it's a lot of little things together with a lot of heart.
Absolutely. And when you look at your competitive set, going to be different, right? The entertainment pieces you have, the stuffed animal component, the memories component is obviously a very diverse competitive set. But how do you think your brand is different from your competitors? Do you see similar efforts from your competitive set in what you were doing, or what do you feel you're doing differently?
I always struggle with questions about competitors because we're so unique. The BuildABear is truly a one-of-a-kind experience, but obviously when you think about competition in general, we are competing out there for people's time, attention, and how they want to spend moments, either celebrating things or thinking about gifts or entertainment. So all of the people and brands that compete in those areas are our competitors by nature. So, our point of differentiation will always be to stay true to the mission of our brand, which, is paramount to us. We want to be there to help make people's day just a little bit better. We think that we can make that birthday a little bit better. We think that we can make that celebration of great grades or maybe a new relationship, a fun date night that much better. It was fun. We just recently saw an interview with Ashanti, who stars in our movie, and she was like, "Oh, I got a Build-A-Bear, from a boyfriend years ago. I don't have the boyfriend anymore, but I still have the Build-A-Bear." And, those are the kind of stories that, they make us really smile because people love to hold on to their Build-A-Bears. And, when I think about that kind of relationship that we make, we do stand in a league all of our own. We know there'll always be other brands out there that are, looking for a piece of the family entertainment or spending. But we will always truly be that unique destination that people want to come to make a lasting memory. And those furry friends, they go to college with you. They sometimes become the conduit to ask someone to marry someone or reveal a gender for a baby. It's tough to compete with that. So we feel like, we really do have a very unique opportunity to continue to grow this brand and reach more people and help more people just enjoy life's little moments with teddy bears. Who doesn't love teddy bear?
Absolutely. And the last question we have, somewhat self-serving, what can Loyalty360 do to help you and your team with your customer loyalty efforts?
Go for it, Ed.
For us, it's just, we're excited to keep listening, reading, and learning. So whether that's, watching something on YouTube, listening to a podcast, reading an article, it's very helpful to us as we think about what modern loyalty is. We apply the Build-A-Bear lens to that. how do we create great guest experiences? It's not one big thing, it's many things rolling together. First party data is going to be really huge for us. We're fortunate in that our guests love joining our program. But how do we respect that data? How do we deliver the most personalized experience? We just want to keep listening and learning. So we're very happy to be a part of the community.
Absolutely. Well, Ed and Jennifer, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us today. It was very interesting to hear what you're doing at BuildABear. The passion for the guests you have is front and center for sure. And it's always great to hear that from the amazing brands we speak with. So thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And thank you everyone for listening. We look forward to having you back for another edition of our Leaders in Customer Loyalty series soon. Have a wonderful day.